Hello, and welcome to the Weird Canadian.
Came to my attention this week that Trudeau has come out and actually is trying to warn Canadians that when Trump says he wants Canada to be the 51st state, he's actually serious. He seriously intends on taking us as the 51st state. And that's kind of concerning because I have never wanted to be American. They have cheaper shit, but they have more problems than I wish to deal with. Yes, Canada has its own problems like overworked healthcare and like overbloated government and not enough social help and businesses taking over just like the States, because we've got this quasi model of we're better than the States but we're not. We're going to do essentially the same shit but be more restrictive of it and have more government control over everything, which is currently what Trump is battling in the United States. That is the weirdest thing. Trump is actually battling what Canada has become. A government-controlled country. And I'm not saying controlled in terms of like, we're going to come and steal your land. What I mean in terms of controlled is they own the mainstream media. So only things that the government says can go through the mainstream media. They're shutting down whatever anybody else says as misinformation, which is just blatantly lies, because these people can give the proof, and the government's still saying it's misinformation. Take the Hogue report, for instance. Like, that was just a clusterfuck, because you have one side of the country being like, well, there's no terrorist activity, and there's nothing to be worried about, and then our government telling us, oh shit, there's shit to be worried about. So who exactly are we to listen to? Especially when our government is in such upheaval over stupid shit. Now, in terms of our government, the problems are pretty identifiable. We're overbloated. We try to control too much. And we've constructed these borders around our own provinces. And the ways of tackling this, it's blatant to see, and I don't understand why it's taking so long for anybody to implement. But to be honest with you, if Trump is going to take these tariffs on us, right? Let's say he puts these tariffs on us. What would be our best interest? And I'm not saying like, yeah, let's go tit for tat, fucking tariff on tariff. No. You know what would be the smartest decision? Get rid of the fucking carbon tax. Yeah. We're paying what, like 25% into the carbon tax as is? Like, that just evens it out, right? Like, put more money in Canadians' pockets instead of taxing the shit out of us, and then we'll be a better society for it. I worked for the Ontario government. I worked in one of the ministries. And I can tell you right now, the problem with our government is overbloated, unneeded bureaucracy. When I was working, there were workers we actually had to actively put on projects that didn't have any value at all, purely because we couldn't get rid of them. Unions are great until they're not. So, and that's what the crux of the government's problem right now is. You have a union that's fighting for every single employer or every single employee, which is great in a normal situation. But when a company can't fire an employee because they're not doing the work, that's a problem. If they're not doing the work and not able to show that they can do the work, they shouldn't be working there. I don't care what the union says. So, like, that seems to be the biggest problem, and it doesn't seem to be the biggest thing that anybody seems to be looking at. And now you want to have fucking another liberal leader, what the fuck's his name, Mark something, and he wants to add more taxes to hurt us even more. Like, I just don't understand where the government's thinking, hey, this is a good idea, let's fuck us all over. And I honestly think it's because our government is filled with people who have never really worked outside the government. They've immediately went into these political positions where they've had power, or they've had power in the family, and they've jumped into these political positions and supported the political positions of their parents and continued that on. We don't have a whole lot of MPs in Congress, like the ones that actually advocate for us, that come from roots, like the powerful people. Trudeau, fucking Pierre, Jagmeet Singh, like they're all rich people. And yet you want them to fight for poor people's problems? How about we elect somebody who doesn't have a fucking stake in the US or a stake in Canada's property? Right? Like, let's fucking find an MP who doesn't own a single plot of property aside from his residential home. Let's put him in office. See how the fuck he does better. Right? Like, common sense. This is all that government needs to come down to, is common sense. And it seems that it is baffling to me that it seems like all we do is go against the common sense. It's just, it's heartening. Heartening? I don't know. It hurts to see the mark missed time and time again. I honestly think our government would be better if we didn't elect anybody in this next upcoming election and just say, you know what? Why don't we take our provincial leaders, have them appoint a representative, and they run. Like, I guess that doesn't really work. But what I'm saying is, like, we can't fucking keep on going down the same rabbit hole and expecting different fucking results. That's not how it's gonna go. I gotta get my thoughts together. Shot 4. Shot 5. Pop her out. Make sure she's clear. And she's good. Mag out. Safety on. Placing her. So, again, safety's on. Bolt is out. Okay, checking the chamber, make sure it's not in there. We're loaded. Safety off at 100 yards. Oh shit, I actually got a bullseye on that one. Hey, maybe I am getting pretty good at this. Probably not, but... I think that was it, but just to be safe. Yep. Safety on. Bolt down. So, I'm going to load this and I am going to talk. And there is one other thing I want to say, kind of just thought of it, but in case any of you are coming onto my channel and are offended by my content, this isn't the channel for you. This content that I'm making, I kind of want to do it more for myself and just kind of be honest, open, and authentic. And if I can't do that because you're offended because I own a gun, I want to go hunting, I go against your moral values and not like the standard moral values. Like, I'm not going out to kill somebody. I would hunt and fish and do things to sustain myself. I don't want to hunt for a trophy animal. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm hunting so that I can use what I have, be more self-sufficient, rely more on myself and less on the government and less on corporations. So yes, I will be posting videos in contexts that people might not like. But if it really offends you that I'm doing these things and you can't see past what I'm doing to get my message, this isn't your channel. And I'm sorry to say that to you. I really wish that wasn't the case. I want to have an open, honest dialogue. I don't want to have a shouting match. That's our problem. We can't talk. We could be completely different people and have completely dissenting opinions, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to hate you. I might not understand where you're coming from, but it doesn't mean I can't discuss with you. And I feel like that's what we've lost as a society, is the ability to see past each other's differences and have a constructive conversation on where each person's coming from. And that's kind of where, like I said, I want this channel to go. I want to have an open, honest dialogue. And I can't do that if I have to hide who I am in order to talk to you. So, I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but yes, I don't think this is the channel for you if you expect my opinion to always line up with yours, because it won't. And I can say that I'm sure nobody's opinion lines up directly with mine, because I'm a little bit nuts in terms of how I see the world. I see a lot of connections and things, and a lot of people can't understand where I come from. So I do things on a logical basis, but they might seem illogical to a lot of people. So I understand that I'm not always going to be agreeable or always take your point, but it doesn't mean I'm not willing to discuss it. And I want that. If you guys feel you want to discuss a point with me because I'm taking it in the wrong way, or if I don't understand what I'm talking about, I want to be held accountable. It's kind of the biggest thing I think in life is if we just hold people accountable, I don't think we'd have as many problems. Yeah, like look at banking. Like, we got fucked over by these big banks and nobody went to jail. Well, one person went to jail who wasn't even fucking doing anything. Or he might have, but he was the unwilling sacrifice. Like, if a company steals money from people through whatever means, and their punishment is a fine, that's the cost of doing business. If a company does something wrong and people find out about it, and we actually put the people who did that crime in prison, people will stop doing it. Get money out of the equation and start putting time into the equation, because time is the only thing you can't pay for. Time is the only thing you cannot get back. So get rid of their time and they're not going to survive. And yeah, so I want you to hold me accountable, and I'm going to try and keep myself accountable. I will make revisions when I fuck up. I will post videos of revisions. I will make that promise to you, because I want everything to be open and to just kind of have an open dialogue. Everybody's going to fuck up sometime. It doesn't make sense if we put people down and try and... And she's a real nice guy. So this is our range. It's not anything special, but it's something you get to use. It is a membership. So did have to pay for it, but I've got this for 3 years. So I plan on making more videos out here because it's nice and calm and quiet. And I really enjoy it. So here's our 25 meter shot sight. So I've got some of my 22 up here and around. It's not as sighted as well because I don't have a scope or anything. And even right here, that's the 22. But then you can see the 223 getting really nice and close, except for right there. So I'm getting a better pattern. All right, let's go to the 100 meter. 100 yard, not meter. So, some of you might also be thinking why I'm not showcasing my shots downrange. And to be honest with you, I don't really want to. I'm kind of self-conscious. And I really worry about what you guys think about my shots. So, to showcase what I got over here, I didn't do well over here. So here's my 223s. A lot of 223s. I didn't even take a shot with the 22. But that's the closest shot I got. So I'm gonna take a few more shots and see if I can get any closer. But yeah, so let's see how we do.